Hello viewers, this is Paladin of Odin, and this is some more Magic the Gathering Online. This is another episode of the Standard Commentary series. So, Mono White, Dragon Hunter, 2/1 Pro Dragons, and can block dragons, so it has reach. And it looks like blue and white. So, oh, Hero of Herois. I was going to say blue-white control, but it's looking a lot more like another pseudo-white weenie deck with a splash of blue. Morph. Yeah, I was gonna say, no reason not to attack with the Dragon Hunter, because there's no way in hell he's gonna block with his hero. Ordeal of Heliod on the hero. So, 3+1/+1 counters, it goes boom, and he gains 10 life. Oh, wow, he's going all out on this guy. So, Defiant Strike, so he's a 5/4. Turns into a 6/5. And the Ordeal pops. It's actually quite similar to how I run my black and red heroic deck, which, interestingly enough, if you guys didn't know, if you haven't watched the whole series, is that's how this whole thing got started. Was I was afraid of the new Hidden Dragon Slayer. Well timed. But the hero did gain him 10 life and deal some good damage. But like I was saying, this came about because my deck is going to rotate in the next rotation. It's gonna die, and there's nothing I can do about it. I don't have the money to buy new cards, so I won't have a standard deck to play. So I started this so that I can show you guys standard gameplay, and I can keep learning about Standard, because I'll be honest, Standard has been my least favorite format for basically my entire Magic playing, I want to say career, but it's not like I play Magic for a living. Though I did try that for about a year, and it didn't work out for me because I didn't have the money to do it. So pacifism on the other hero. God's Willing. So give him Pro White, Scry 1, give him Heroic, and save him from the pacifism. Gleam of Authority. Chain creature gets +1/+1 for each +1/+1 counter on other creatures you control. It also has Vigilance, and pay a white to bolster 1. Interesting. That's actually a pretty nice thing, especially in this current situation. It turns a measly little 2/1 irrelevant creature into something that can make an impact. Like right now, theoretically he could block and kill the Dragon Hunter. But, no, Pro White, I forgot. Yeah, he could. Right now, for free. That really wasn't smart. I'm gonna chalk that up to a brain fart on his behalf. Because even I was headed down that path. Okay, Ordeal of Thassa. Alright. Attack, he gets to draw 2 cards, and the mono white player has to deal with a 5/5. Dramoka's command. He's taking the choice out of the mono white player's hands. So he murders the Hidden Dragon Slayer. And then smashes in for 7. He did gain 3 life, so it was only a 4 damage swing. But now he has a 7/7 hero. But there are plenty of options in white. And there's one of them, Valorous Stance, to kill creatures. But he could have another God's Willing. In fact, that's what I think is going to happen. Yep. Why else would you respond with a... Oh, a second Valorous Stance. That was quite fortuitous. So not only does he get to kill the giant creature, he also made him burn a God's Willing. Brain is not working. So even though there's a life discrepancy, they're pretty even right now. Anafenza, the Kintree Spirit. Avon Skirmisher. Now, in days long past, a 2/2 flyer wouldn't have seemed like that big of a deal. But in current standard, a 2/2 flyer is just as much of a threat as most other cards. And in this situation particularly, since he doesn't have a creature to block with, so he has to use a spell to get rid of it. And there's a morph. And I'm guessing the Skirmisher. Yep. So now he has a 3/3 flyer. And not attacking with Anafenza. So now things have turned right back around to the mono-white player's favor. And the heroic deck conceded. The other morph was another Hidden Dragon Slayer, which is unsurprising. Something that I just thought of related to the heroic deck in this match is that's something that I've learned with my heroic deck, is that if they have ways to kill your creatures, you're gonna lose. Your creatures can be very good, but if they have ways to kill them, you're gonna run out of gas long before they do. But if they don't, or if their removal is slow, you can rip their face off so fast. You can kill in like 4 turns with a full-on aggro heroic deck. But That's usually why I only play two-headed giant standard, so that I have a partner to back me up when we face off against guys who can kill my creatures, just offhand. Because that's basically what my heroic deck is all about, is heroic creatures with things that can target it to make them big, and then the ordeals to stack on damage and make them discard cards. That's what it's all about. Direct damage to the face, heroic creatures, things that target creatures, the end. And when it works, it is amazing. When it doesn't, it's glaringly obvious the weak point in your deck, and that's your creatures. But one thing that this heroic deck has over mine is he has the ability to protect his creatures. Mine is black and red, so I don't have God's Willing to protect a creature. Or, what is it, like Defiant Strike. Most of the things that I have to target creatures in black and red are enchantments. So he's attacking in with the favorite Hoplite. I don't think he's going to block. I didn't think so. And that's something that I also expected, was him not to block and then nothing be played. That way your opponent doesn't get the knowledge of whether or not you actually have the instant card. Now they have to sit there and just assume that you do, whether you do or not. And if you don't, that gives you an advantage. So he's swinging in with Anafenza. He has his 2/2 Avon Skirmisher. Wow. It's looking like he's having a rough go of it this game. And the same setup. You don't know if he has the combat trick or not. And he decides to throw it down anyway. Probably because he needs to draw. Ooh, Convoke Devouring Light. Denied. So if my suspicion is correct and he needed to draw that card, then he is in really bad shape. 1 mana. And he conceded. Valor's Stance, Devouring Light. Yeah, even if he had gotten land or the things he needed to draw, he was in really bad shape. So there you go, folks. That was I'll call it Bant Heroic versus Mono White. Or should I just call it White Weenie? Well, I think I'll just call it White Weenie. Anyway, if you liked